Yeah, so I was telling her I got like 800 Bitcoins. Oh, we're live. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me and Billy. It's week 8. We got you guys from the live stream today. Soon, the old Boomer Sooners here.
9-0, baby.
Yeah, now that you guys got your quarterback controversy figured out.
Rattler came in and looked pretty good in relief.
Yeah, he'll be a good relief quarterback, like the relief pitchers, you know.
Hey, don't even get me started on there. People, okay, this is the whole thing. He's good enough to start at a lot of colleges, so
yeah, but not OU.
No, because we just happen to have one better than him.
Nice. Well, we had a question in here already from David, who hopped in early. Hey guys, Judy or Jarvis? So let's start with that one.
I don't like Judy coming back right now. I think I would start Jarvis.
I feel similarly. Judy first game back. I'm always a little hesitant, and I know Jarvis was his first game back last week. He did all right, but
OBJ's kind of like questionable, and he might not even play.
Exactly.
Donovan Peoples-Jones might not play. And Baker wants to beat the Steelers more than anything in his entire life right now. So I would go that route.
Yeah. And then on the IDP side, we got start 3, Micah Kaiser. I'm guessing it's Mike Kaiser, but I saw that Mike Kaiser's on IR.
Might be Parsons.
Okay, that might make sense. Micah Parsons, Fred Warner, Logan Wilson, and Roquan. I was leaning towards Micah over Wilson, but Micah hasn't put up many solid fantasy numbers at all this year. I mean, why would you want to pull Logan Wilson out of your lineup is my question. He's like the 4th or 5th best linebacker in the league right now. So
yeah, he said Parsons. He put back in there.
Yep. Yeah, I would sit Parsons.
I would too. Don't rock the boat.
Don't rock the boat. What's up? Good morning, Bomber.
I don't like Fred Warner's matchup this week. I'm not gonna lie though.
Nor should you,
because he's a cover linebacker, and Justin Fields is one of those hang on to the ball too long kind of guys. So not really Fred Warner's strong suit, if you know what I mean.
Man, this quarterback class fucking sucks.
It's not going well so far.
I mean, if you're in Superflex like I have been, and you've been waiting around for this class for the last couple of years because it's supposed to be so good and so amazing, and you can plug these guys in, yada yada yada. Like I did that in a league or two, questionably. I was like, I don't know if this is a good strategy or not, but I hear a lot of people saying this. It's been a nightmare so far.
I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of gone the other way on this upcoming class because so many people are down on it that I'm like, well, maybe one or two of them are gonna be like legends.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough in these streets. Zach Wilson, Lance. They said he'll play, and I'm like, that's so goofy because like they say, hey, he's not the starter, but then like Schefter put out his tweet, it didn't say he's healthy or he's active. It said will play. So I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like what?
I don't know, man.
It's ridiculous.
I really would love to sit Kyle Shanahan down and ask what he is doing right now.
He's got issues. And
he traded a first round pick for Trey Lance, but he's not planning to start him this year. Why would you do that?
I'm also so sick and tired of hearing this. Like, well, they're trying to copy the Patrick Mahomes route. You know, they're trying to have him sit for a year. It's just like, why do we have to keep saying that? Like, can we just like, why is that the thing?
It happened at work once, so.
And it wasn't even like that. It was like Alex Smith was not bad. Yeah, you guys drafted a rookie, but it wasn't like a Nick Foles situation or an Andy Dalton situation. Like Alex Smith was actually pretty decent.
If you think about it, they could have had Jamar Chase at that spot. I really thought Kyle Shanahan was going to big brain it and pick Jamar Chase, and then he would have an elite wide receiver. But
Kyle Shanahan has proven that his brain is not as big as people think it is.
He's definitely got some issues for sure.
Good morning, boys. Coming in from Lunch Table Legends on the YouTube non-IDP IDP start one player, Laviska Shenault or Darius Slayton?
Shenault. I don't trust Slayton.
Yeah, I agree. Slayton, I like Slayton.
I like the
overall.
matchup, but I just don't trust him yet.
Yeah, bingo. And I think Laviska, I mean, the Seattle Seahawks are not good. You know,
No.
Laviska, I mean, the target share keeps getting smaller and smaller there. So,
yeah. Well, if they will use him properly, if Urban Meyer fucking can get out of his own ass and use him as a slot receiver instead of putting him out wide, that's what Laviska Shenault like. They put so here's the problem with the Jaguars. They put Marvin Jones on the outside, they put Laviska Shenault on the other side, and then they put whatever Agnew in the slot, and then they just funneled it to Agnew. And I'm like, well, if you just use Shenault like he's supposed to, you wouldn't need to put Agnew in the slot. You could just put Agnew on the outside and just let him do it. But whatever. Every time.
thanks, Urban. Oh, no, we'll get one mulligan.
There you go.
Is.
There's a mulligan.
Also start one tight end. Evan Ingram versus Kansas City or Dalton Schultz. This is pretty easy. It's Dalton Schultz, in my opinion.
Even with no Dak, I mean, Cooper Rush is who do you think he's throwing to? He doesn't trust his ass to throw anything else. Yeah. So he's just going to check down to the tight end.
Agreed. Evan Ingram's let you down a lot. He's probably going to do it again.
Yeah, sadly.
How confident are we in Micah Parsons' rest of season after bye week? I see him coming out hungry and hunting. I mean, yeah, he got. I mean, it's to me, it's not really about like the mentality as much as it is the position, the role he plays. You know, I mean, he's a primary inside linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, and that's been a productive position for a long time. You know, and then now he's got the tenure and the talent and all that. I mean, he's been given the keys to the castle. His production will follow.
Yeah. I mean, rookies follow a trajectory and they get better as the season goes on, or they don't. And like, you know, we'll see. But like, I would bet on him getting better.
Agreed. Rugaroo, what up, bro? Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Rugaroo. Oh man.
Yep. Hit us with your questions, yo.
When are we gonna start talking rookies? I know you hate that so much.
Like, I mean, it's already happening. I don't have any choice. I mean, I'm just one drop in an ocean. Okay. So
you hate talking rookies so much this time of year.
I don't hate it, but I mean, it's just like
it's week 8.
I tweeted something out about yesterday.
Talking about the 2022 class.
I'm just like that's not fair. Like, we're living and breathing the actual fantasy football season right now.
Yeah.
And y'all want to drag me out here. You want to drag me to the darkness of the off season where we're going to be doing this for all kinds of time. It's just like, it's just pain. It's suffering. I don't need any more of that. I get it all off season. Like, just let me have my actual NFL fantasy football, the thing we all claim we're doing.
I like dabbling in both.
Yeah, we were all high on JC Horn until he got hurt. I mean,
I'm concerned about what that looks like when he comes back. Like, they just activated Stephon Gilmore, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're going to plan on having Stephon Gilmore for a couple more years. I don't know what that looks like when JC Horn comes back.
We got some. Rashaan Evans is going to be out. I'm just now seeing that. So anybody who has him, we have a lot of questionables at linebacker.
I really hate that we're not going to know this Dak thing until probably before the game. And like, what are your options going to look like?
Play Cooper Rush.
I guess I'm going to pick him up. Jesus.
I've been thinking that this, like, the last week or two has been a really good time to go make plays for CeeDee Lamb and and Justin Jefferson, because everybody right now is like so high on Jamar Chase, and like that's all the conversation is about. He and Kyle Pitts, like guys like that conversation was about all off season, are kind of, you don't have to give everything to get them right now. Like, you can kind of finagle a little bit. I don't want to say like buy the dip, because it's not a massive dip, but like people are more reasonable with their trades for those guys right now.
Yeah.
They have like 137 cornerbacks.
It's too many, man. And I agree. No, he's coming back this week, legend. They just activated him. They activated him yesterday, so he's going to play.
Guys, I don't know if you all noticed in my we couldn't get a rankings show up this week. It's having some technical difficulties on the back end of StreamYard and YouTube Studio. So, but my rankings are on the site, obviously, idparmy.com. Also, you can go to semiprofantasypros.com. It'll take you there as well. And one guy I wanted to highlight on the show that I wasn't able to or wanted to bring up was Buda Baker. I moved him down this week pretty significantly. To a low end mid range of DB2, and that's kind of the numbers he put up this week, and his kind of the numbers he's been putting up all season. So he and my man Jamal Adams really been letting me down. They've both taken a tumble in the rankings. Now that we're midway through the season, I kind of think it's kind of closer to what they're going to be the rest of the way, versus kind of hoping that they get back to getting right, because nothing's really in their way from what I can see. But guys like Trevon Diggs, Derwin James, Jesse Bates, Jordan Poyer, Harrison Smith, these guys have been top tier guys for a while. They're staying up there too. So it's not a total bust for your top end guys, especially guys you drafted highly, like Derwin James, Jesse Bates.
I'm happy that Derwin James is back and looking like himself. How disastrous it would have been if he came back and didn't look good. Just sad. It would have been sad, and luckily he's been doing well. So,
all right. Questions coming in. Who's the main IDP guy to own on the Bills DST? Poyer or Tremaine Edmonds or someone else?
Poyer's good.
Poyer, Edmonds, Milano is a good one.
Isn't there a D tackle that's really good?
Ed Oliver is supposed to be generational. He had not been very super duper generational from my tell.
I'm thinking of.
Gregory Rousseau right now, he's killing it. He's like the best defensive line player from this class this year so far. Is Milano going to be better this week after the bye? From John. What up, John? I don't know.
Hope so.
I mean, if he put up 0 on his bye week, I hope he puts up more than 0 this week. So, yes.
Did you see that video of that guy that said, your best ability is availability, and he said to drop Saquon Barkley?
Yes.
That's a legend. I just texted that to Josh, and I was like, we need to level up because this guy is doing it the right way.
Big brain. Get crazy, man.
Yeah, I know. I was like, man, our takes are too cold. This is hot as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not start Buda Baker this week. He's in a slump, and I'm thinking of dropping him for Poyer or Minka.
He did okay. Right? Didn't he
did okay
9
this
tackles?
Week. He did okay this week, but he has not been doing good.
It's true.
And again, you didn't draft Buda Baker for a 12, 13-point game.
Yeah.
As what we start calling a good game.
I'd probably pick Poyer up if he's available.
I'd be surprised he's available. Minka's been crushing it this year. No, Joe Burrow should get comeback player of the year.
There's so many players that should get comeback player of the year.
In my opinion, it should be Joe Burrow, and that's coming from a guy who's been super low, kind of on the whole Burrow Cincinnati thing. Call a spade. He's fucking dope. I mean, he's dope. He's got the right attitude. He's got all the physical tools. He gets the game. There's nothing watching Cincinnati football this year and even parts of last year is nothing like what watching Cincinnati football has been like since I've been watching football. He totally changed the culture. He totally changed the team almost overnight. And that's with the devastating injury. So Derwin, the NFL media loves him, but he's going to have a tough time.
On the defensive side.
Oh, I don't think they do one for defensive side today. It's just overall, right?
I think so, but I think it's just
Gotcha.
Throwing it out there.
Speaking of which, tomorrow Billy and I are going to be doing a mid-season pod / show. It's going to be a long one because we have a lot of stuff to cover and break down. Some of which will be our awards votes and kind of where we think those stand.
We just need to come to terms with some people. This will be our 8th week of evidence. It's time to start calling Jamal Adams a spade, kind of thing.
You trying to catch one?
I mean, is he trying to catch one? Is he trying to catch one? Is he trying to catch one? Throw straight at him.
We're going over like the leaderboards, guys that are trending up, guys that are trending down, stuff like that. So it'll be a bigger show. It won't be kind of one of the more packaged, neatly packaged products we've been putting out over here on the IDP Army and the OP and all that. We're just going to kind of dig in. And so look for that to be published tomorrow. It should be a good one. Should be a really actionable. So yeah, you heard it here first.
Okay. Yo Lewis on the YouTube. Taylor Rapp, Marcus Mabe, Honey Badger, pick 2.
Who you got?
Taylor Rapp for sure. He's been really consistent this season, so I think I would leave him in because he's playing young Davis Mills. So anytime you're playing Davis Mills, I'm in for whoever's playing against him.
Agreed.
I know you're not a matchups guy, but that matchup's just too juicy to not take advantage of. And then the last one. So Honey Badger versus the Giants, or was it Marcus May versus Joe Burrow?
I'm trying to see where I have Marcus May in my rankings this week.
Probably the Honey Badger. I like Marcus May a lot, though.
He got a little bad press yesterday.
Yeah, he definitely did. It would be good for him to come out and do something.
Exactly. That's how Honey bounce. He's gonna bounce back. He's gonna go out and get like 2 picks, and everyone's gonna love him. He is different. He says it all the time. Can you do the next question? I'm still kind of cruising some stuff over here.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, we don't really have one. It's just Bomber blowing up the chat. And then Rugeroo says, since I lost Peppers, I picked up Holland. He's getting starting snaps now, right? And yes, that is true. Bomber answered his question. Bomber put some laughing face emojis. My voice sounds like I chain smoked cigarettes, and I did not.
Some of those come through as X's on here. Why is that, I wonder?
I don't think Billy realized what he said. I probably don't, Bomber. I am not having a morning.
Billy partied yesterday. Billy partied like it was 2012.
Right? Yeah. No, I probably don't. That's what we're in for this morning.
I didn't party. I was in bed by 10:15 last night. Tucked away.
My liver envies that, but whatever. It's fine. All right.
Bless.
All right. Put start 3. CJ Mosley, Devin Bush, Nick Bolton, Jordan Poyer, or Micah Parsons.
All right. I'm going to go Nick Bolton for sure. He's been playing really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Devin Bush.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go Jordan Poyer. I'm interested in Micah Parsons, CJ Mosley lowest on the list, just because of the injury concerns.
I was about to say,
you're not supposed to say anything about injury concerns, but it's just like it's a real thing. Like I don't want a guy in my lineup that's been having groin problems for like 3 fucking years straight.
Yeah,
like if I don't have to. So, is that the same for you?
Yeah, the same for me for sure.
With you, Billy, we were drinking scotch until about midnight.
Yeah.
Dang kids.
It was Maker's Mark for me.
Malone, Aziz Ojulari. Are you guys on him yet? Heck yeah, my guy. We are big Aziz.
Sponsor us, Maker's Mark. We love you. I do, at least.
Yeah, I mean, here's what he did last week. Sorry, Billy. We're pulling you out of there for a second.
That's fine. Dude, product placement.
Yeah, I mean, big week last week. 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. 33 points overall. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely on Aziz Ojulari. We like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Gets that dual tag on sleeper, so you can play him a linebacker or a defensive line, which is always nice to just have some versatility. Give you a little more utility. So, got inactives coming in about 10 minutos. Watching this Bucks Saints breakdown. I'm short a CB in a deep CB league. Darby worth a pickup. Ronald Darby, I'm guessing. Could be. What other options do you have? I would be curious to hear just a couple more names, maybe. Are you worried about Chris Jones? Yeah, I've been worried about Chris Jones. I dropped him in some leagues I had him in. I tried to trade him all offseason. I won't even shade y'all. Anybody that said that they weren't worried about him lied because they wouldn't take him from me. So we're all concerned. He's a great player, though. That's the problem, though. Whenever you have these great players that kind of fall off in production, it's tough because as fantasy analysts, we're kind of in this nebulous world where we can get yelled at for being like, well, this player is still really good, even if the box score is not good. And you're like, okay, like we all, it's like an unspoken, like, yes, we all get that. Like the box score is not everything, but we're supposed to talk about fantasy. So, or at least theoretically. And the more and more I look around the fantasy football space, especially at our level, which I would say is, the lower end, more middle area, the niches, it like blends with NFL content. And I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about it sometimes. At least distinguish what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I like about like our shows, like the Dynasty Tailgate. I mean, even you're like, this isn't really a Devy show. You're like, this is really just kind of keeping you abreast of the college football season as we get closer to draft season.
Exactly.
Like, I think that's something that's a palatable. That's a palatable concept to me. You're not trying to say this. You're not
exactly.
You're not saying this is a fantasy football podcast. You're saying this is a college football podcast.
Yeah.
Names you might want to keep an eye on.
It's just I just don't want people to be surprised because sometimes you can get names in there and you're like, who the hell?
Who is the Rams linebacker to start? I have both. Jones getting talked up by the coaches this week so far. I mean, yeah, he's gonna get talked up because they got rid of the other guy, Young. So I mean, it's probably both are gonna be startable. I would go with Reader personally, still, just because we've seen a track record of him play and be good. I would be a little scared to play Jones if I had both. So if I have both, I'm playing the guy who has a longer tenure and more of a track record of success. That's just general good fantasy advice, I think. Ramsay or Javon Holland? Okay, this is tough. Ramsay's been having a great season for fantasy, for IDP, for all of it. Holland's been playing good too. What you do like about the Dolphins' defensive backs is kind of similar to the Ravens. They get blitzed a lot. They bring their safeties up to the line. And so they always have these, these big plays, these 10 to 15 point plays in their back pocket that guys like Jalen Ramsay may not have quite as much access to. Yeah, he can still get a pick, but he's not going to get blitzed, so he has less opportunities to get a variety of big plays for you. So I lean towards Holland here. But
yeah,
what about you?
I agree. Honestly, I think you'd be fine with either.
Yeah.
Throw either of them out there.
I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think I would prefer Holland, but I think the drippier play, the more like flashy play is Jalen Ramsay. So if you want style points, go Jalen Ramsay. If
anybody against Davis Mills is fine with me.
Yeah, and that is the other factor too. Actually,
that guy crowns IDP players. Like it's just the week for them.
Play Jalen Ramsay. I'm playing Jalen Ramsay.
Normally, I know matchups are like kind of hit or miss, but Davis Mills is he just loves making IDP players relevant.
Like if you're watching, they have earned it. Hell to the yeah. Thanks for the shout. We appreciate that.
Thanks, R. Pete.
We try to do the Lord's work over here. We try not to bombard you with too many ads, too many requests,
Yeah.
But if you want to give us stuff, like we're fine with that.
And we appreciate the like.
Thumbs up. We appreciate them. They go a long way around here. Billy didn't show up not to get a thumbs up, guys.
Yeah.
Hard Body Talks on YouTube says Kyle Duggar or Jeremy Chin. That's pretty easy for me. That's Kyle Duggar. This guy's had 2 back-to-back 25-point games. And he had a big game before that. Like yeah. And Jeremy Chin has just been ghosting.
Well, they haven't used Jeremy Chin in the same way as they had been. So
no. I mean, that factors into. So that's pretty easily Kyle Duggar for me. I'm tempted to start Quincy.
I wouldn't even be tempted. Do it, Bomber. Pull the trigger.
I mean, whoa, easy there.
Who's been more consistent this year?
Live a little. All right, Jared Dog 1165 says pick 2, 12 points, a sack. 12-point, a sack, 2-point tackle. Jonathan Allen or Josh Allen. Jay Allen, Leonard Williams, Randy Gregory or Everson Griffin. I'm 100% playing Randy Gregory. He's been on fire.
Yeah. I'd be tempted to play Leonard Williams, but
if that's Jonathan Allen, I'm playing him. If it's Josh Allen,
still playing him.
Yeah, I'm probably still playing him because don't they play the Seahawks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, and that's Geno. He's going to sack the shit out of Geno. He got sacked like 5 or 6 times the other night, like on like the same drive, it felt like. So I'm going Randy Gregory and then Jay Allen.
Yep, doesn't even matter which one.
Yep, doesn't even matter which one. Does Xavier McKinney get more run with Peppers out for the season?
I hope so.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't even think it's a real question. Like, he will. He's been getting plenty of runs so far, and one of the reasons he hasn't been getting more is because they have so many talented safeties. Well, now one of them is down, who his replacement will be this guy named Julian Love, I believe. He'll probably get some run, but I think you're going to look at a situation where Logan Ryan and McKinney are just going to be the guys there.
I was so high on Julian Love when he came out of college. I wish that could finally pay off, but I don't think it is.
I mean, he's been serviceable. Matt Milano or Quincy Williams. I'm still going back to the well with Quincy. I know he kind of let people down last week, but he got injured in that game, and when he plays, he's really, really, really good.
I agree. I'm starting Quincy until he proves otherwise.
And the flip side of that is if we're getting the Dolphins playing Miami, and this is supposed to be a high over-under / and a blowout, apparently, that doesn't sound like it. It's not going to be a game that Miami possesses the ball much. Therefore, Matt Milano is not going to have a ton of chances to get tackles. Whereas you flip that over, Quincy Williams' team is never going to possess the ball. You know what I mean? So he's always going to be on the field. So if the narratives, this can be spun there in my head where it's pretty easily Quincy Williams.
Yep. Agreed.
Greenard or Hargrave in DL? All right, Jeremy Gordon asking the tough questions. Greenard and Hargrave have both been extremely good this year. I think Greenard's on like 3 weeks in a row with a sack or something like that.
I'm playing the hot hand. It's Greenard.
Well, Javon Hargreaves' hand has not been cold either. I mean,
I guess that's true.
He's got a ton of tackles for loss on the season, 10 quarterback hits, 6 sacks himself, almost 40 total combined tackles already. Dude, he's got 39 combined tackles right now, and we're halfway through the season. His career high before is 60 in 16 games. He is going to blow everything away.
So let's put it this way. You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong, and it's Hargrave. Hargrave is going to end up finishing the season with like 10 sacks, 85 tackles.
Who is the other DL player, Jeremy, that you're starting for sure? I would like to know that one.
Travis Knox. Start Cameron Curl, Javon Holland, or Jerron Kearse. Ooh, that's a pretty good lineup right there.
Man, I'm envious of some people's like questions because I'm like, man, mine I'm like down to people.
Your IDP teams all suck.
Man, calm down. Calm down. Not that bad. I just have less questions. Like this is a good question.
All right, so I have Javon Holland highest in my rankings of the 3. I have him at 28. I have Cameron Curl at 32, and then I've got Jerron Kearse a little ways further down. I probably need to bring him up a little bit, honestly.
I guess I'm probably playing Holland, but I'm surprised that I'm there.
Cameron Curl's just been such like a I don't have any allegiances to him at this point in the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I feel about him. I can't find Kearse in my rankings.
Holland.
Yeah, it's Holland. All right, got a few more questions rolling in. Devin Bush, Jesse Bates, or Jordan Poyer coming in from Lunch Table Legend. What you got? Oh, sorry. I'll probably go.
My bad. I was talking.
I'm taking Jesse Bates, and I think
Yeah.
Jesse Bates is pretty much a stone cold lock for an interception this week. He averages 3 a year. He hasn't had one yet this season. I'm about 90% sure that's an accurate statement. You might want to double check me. And he gets to play the Jets. I don't care who their quarterback is, what the situation is. They're going to go down. They're going to be throwing. Jesse Bates is going to be hunting today because it's halfway through the season and he doesn't have a pick.
So you know how the Jets are starting Mike White this week? So I've changed his name to Mickey Blanco because it's a much more interesting name.
I heard on the show, Mickey Blanco.
Yeah, it's great. Like, what a name. That, like, Mike White is like whatever. That's a whatever name. Mickey Blanco, though.
Why Mickey Blanco? Like, where did you get that?
Because White is Blanco in Spanish, and then Mickey.
What's your deal with turning English words to Spanish words and then just masquerading them around as English
Spanish words are much more interesting than English words. Let's be
real.
No,
this is a fair statement.
Blanco is much more interesting.
Speaking of which, if anyone out there is bilingual or South American, Latin American dialects, we are thinking about adding some shows that might be, Spanish. I'm looking into getting some guys from.
You have Rougarou do French.
I'm looking for some guys maybe that are in some Spanish speaking guys from either from Mexico or Brazil, Portuguese, and maybe getting a podcast going that is geared towards people who maybe English isn't their first language on our feed. So if you're into that, let me know. It's just a thought something I've been thinking about a lot lately, actually, because I mean, football, it's a very American centric thing, obviously, but the NFL is growing and the world's smaller, it's multicultural, but everything I find football related almost always is English, and I feel like that's not necessarily fair. And it's so that people are like, oh, the market's so saturated with fantasy content. I'm like, yeah, but our market is saturated. What about the rest of the world? So I feel like, I don't know, if people are into something like that, we're looking into that. So, all right. Tyreek had a question. What's up? T.Y. Hilton or Callaway? I'm going Hilton.
I'm going Hilton too. I think that's actually going to be a really high scoring game. So I think Hilton's got more opportunity to get. I mean, apparently Pat Mahomes couldn't take advantage of that secondary. We'll see if Carson Wentz can do it.
Yeah, apparently Patrick Mahomes is totally washed now.
Just say it. Nobody's saying that.
Just say it.
Nobody's saying that.
Just say it.
Hey, I know you're a KC fan, and I've got another KC fan sitting over here on the couch. I'm not going to talk bad about Pat Mahomes because, there's nothing to talk bad about. He's just having a weird year. He's just having – no, I'm not getting body slammed. No, we're not getting into this. Pat Mahomes is fine.
Get him. All right. Oh, she can't hear me. Pod.
No, it's Davis Mims.
Oh.
You know him.
Yeah, I know. Probably, the guy who never trades in any of our leagues we're in together. Tell him to get his act together.
Look at his dynasty team and tell me that he didn't. He drafted pretty much that entire team, and now he's like studding out.
Is he? I don't even know. I don't even think about his little team anymore.
I'm sure you don't think about that league because you're like 1-6, but it's what it is.
Excuse me? Whoa! Shots fired! I'm pulling it up right now. I am not 1-6 in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the other one, right?
Mister, you better watch your mouth.
No, Calvin Ridley's not playing today. Fuck.
Calvin Ridley's not playing?
Yeah, due to a personal matter.
All right, here's the thing. Here's a Calvin Ridley take. This is something my buddy John, I don't know if you're still watching, he said at work. He said apparently the internet rumors are like Calvin Ridley's like not in a good place mentally.
Which is fine. I'm not. It's not. I'm not mad for that reason. I just have a lot of shares of him.
No. But I'm saying, I think this is not. There at no point this season is Calvin Ridley's situation going to be not what it is right now. That's kind of what I'm saying. He's probably going to be either put on IR or keep missing games, or when he does play, it's going to be not great probably. And we're just going to have to be okay with that. I think he'll come back next year. I think everything's going to be fine. But right now is not the right time to have Calvin Ridley as your wide receiver 1 or 2 on your fantasy teams, because that's not what you're going to get.
It's probably good because he's going to be shadowed by Stephon Gilmore, or he was. So now
all that means is if you are playing Kyle Pitts in DFS,
Pitts is going to be in for a day.
Play more.
Hey, man, either Pitts is going to ball out or Pitts is not going to ball out. I would play Cordell Patterson if he's
going to get 15 to 18 opportunities to ball out.
Josh is gonna kick the can down another
Oh my
week.
gosh. Okay, listen, everybody who's listening to this, we have another podcast on the podcast feed called the OP Podcast. It's called Offensive Points. It's Billy, Joe, and Josh. They're buddies of mine. It's an amazing. It's like a rated R version of Around the NFL. You have to listen to it. Josh is. I literally laugh out loud so much at work listening to some of the shit that Josh says, and it upsets me because he has the same kind of just like willful ignorance about certain topics that I see in myself. And I'm like, and I hate that I see it, but I love it too. I'm like, at least Josh stands for what he stands for.
it's incredible
It
listening to
is.
him weave his way through
It's
why
amazing.
Kyle Pitts is bad. It's masterwork, honestly.
It's just anything he says, just almost anything he says, or just how the Eagles just like every sentence basically ends in some sort of Eagles propaganda.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible.
He's perfect. He's perfect for this show.
It's an incredible show. It's not on the channel. You guys have to listen to it on the podcast. It's amazing. So I just got to give you guys a shout.
That's hilarious.
All right, let's get back to the job at hand here.
Yeah, we're so like behind on questions.
Bobby Okereke or Jordan Brooks. I like
Okereke
matchup. Yeah, I mean, if you're playing snaps-based fantasy, IDP fantasy, you're going to play Okereke. But efficiency-wise, Jordan Brooks has been very good. And he's been one of the best linebackers in football this year as far as IDP is concerned, like top 10. So I would probably play Brooks, but I don't think there's a wrong answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can disagree.
I'm Okereke. So
all right, split ticket.
Damn,
Adam playing for the 49ers today. What's his floor? Probably like 3 points.
Man, now this guy is the story of why you don't leave a team. Like, he was so good for IDP good stash last year, and now he's been irrelevant. So it would be nice to see him getting back to what he was doing prior to moving from Houston to Buffalo.
Yeah, they get to play. They're playing Chicago. That could be a good game for him. I could see him making a splash play or two. Trying to make an impact on the first date. So, yeah. I'm gonna take Anthony Walker. He plays. I mean, when I've been watching the Browns, he looks good. He looks like a shot out of a cannon.
And with the Joker still out, he's been eaten.
Yeah. Is David Long Jr. a good start against Indy? Yes, he's been playing really good, and now that we know Rashaan Evans is out. Speaking of which, we need to check the inactives. They started rolling in. I didn't even know.
Yeah, well, that was what the Calvin Ridley one rolled in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, David Long Jr. is definitely a great start. While you're here, smash the subscribe, smash the like, come back around, play some Underdog Fantasy. I did a couple of drafts this morning over my coffee, watching, Coco Melon with the kids in the living room, hanging out with the wife. Really suggest it. It's a great platform to play fantasy football. It's getting bigger. Did some NBA drafts last night. Man, I really got hurt by who hurt me. I almost took Miles Turner, who went off for a great game. I love Miles Turner, but who did I take instead of him that didn't do good? It's like Jamie Collins, I think.
Odell Beckham is officially active today.
Don't play Odell Beckham. That's
And
my take.
Jadeveon Clowney is also active with an ankle, groin, and knee injury.
Play Clowney. All right. Tyler Will on YouTube says, Tay Crowder, Micah Parsons, Bobby Okereke, C.J. Mosley, or Troy Reader need to pick 3. Of those 3, I'm going Bobby Okereke, Micah Parsons, and Troy Reader. I'm still not trusting C.J. Mosley if I don't have to.
I'm probably the same. I'm a little bit more toss-up between those last 2, but Okereke, Parsons for sure.
All right. Eric Ball on YouTube says, Breeland or Gilmore in his first start. I'm going to go with Breeland.
I just stick with Breeland. We got to see what Gilmore's got. He hasn't played in like a year.
Out with personal issue, yep.
Yeah, damn, that's how far we are behind.
We're right where we need to be. Off pocket, Myles Garrett walked on.
We were looking at that before the podcast or before the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good costume. I love it.
Jamal Williams is out. Is that what's
active?
Emmanuel Sanders or T. Higgins? All right. I think it's T. Higgins. He got
Really?
15
Okay.
targets last week. I know it didn't pan out, but it's just like, dude, he got 15 Joe Burrow targets last week. Like, Emmanuel Sanders is not going to get 15 targets.
Okay. I would go Emmanuel Sanders. He's been the wide receiver 1 on the Bills, so
Yeah, he has been. That's great for him in the past.
Oh man, you're hurt, man.
The OP pod is legit. See, there you go. Lavish the
Thanks,
praise on the
Rugeroo.
boy.
We appreciate that.
It is a good show. It really is. I'm kind of envious that I'm not more involved.
We have to have multiple shows.
Best defense to stream this week: Washington, Carolina, or New England. Also, Chicago is available. Not New England, because I don't want my defense to go up against Justin Herbert. Who's Washington play today? Denver.
Yep.
I'm curious about Washington. I think they could get home for some big plays at the defensive line. Who's Carolina play?
ATL. My least favorite team in the NFL.
I don't know. I think I'm going to play Carolina in this situation.
Okay.
How about you?
Probably.
All right, Carolina.
Well, especially without Ridley, now you've only got to worry about Pitts and Cordell Patterson. So, nah.
Start one: Odell Beckham, Khalif Raymond, or Visca. I'm starting
Visca.
I'm not even like a huge Visca stan or anything, but like the talent's definitely there. Eventually, he's just going to get that game where they do just funnel a bunch of shit to him, and he's going to pop off.
Seattle's got a bad defense, so
exactly. And the Seattle's got a bad defense. They're the kind of guys that Visca's going to drop his shoulder down, and they're just going to break. And once they eat that first one, it's going to be over. So,
Ridley selling my team. He's selling a lot of people's teams, man. I've got money. I got a lot of money tied up in Ridley, and it's not looking good.
Should I pick up Callaway or Van Jefferson? I'm going Van Jefferson. I think they're going to kind of go out of their way to make him feel special this week, personally.
Yeah. Callaway's always good for like 1 week, but
well, the problem is New Orleans does not throw. Their pass volume is not high enough to sustain really anybody.
That's been one of the most shocking things this season, is seeing how Jameis Winston's not throwing the ball.
The unspoken story is the codependent relationship that Sean Payton and Drew Brees had. That's the unspoken story of what's happening right now, in my opinion. Because Jameis Winston is not a bad quarterback. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe it with fucking Kirk Cousins. I refuse to believe it with Jameis. Yeah, he throws a lot of interceptions, but it's funny because the interception conversation this season is getting interesting because you're hearing more people say, like, because of Kyler's interception, like, not all interceptions are really the quarterback's fault. We need a way to distinguish them, kind of like the pressures being a coverage sack or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, we're moving away from this binary interception throwing quarterback, bad quarterback situation where it's like, maybe it's more, look at the game scripts Jameis was in. And same thing, Ryan Fitzpatrick has been saying it too. He's like, I've had my worst games when I've had to play from behind the entire game. He's like, when you get put in those situations as a quarterback, he's like, you're naturally going to throw more interceptions. So I think there's something wrong in New Orleans overall. I don't think it's just Jameis. I don't think just getting a new quarterback is going to fix it either.
No. Well, they need a wide receiver. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a big problem too. And they've had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to get one, and they just don't, which is another thing. Like, what's going on there? Do people not want to play for New Orleans?
It's a good question. It really is.
Best stream defense: Falcons, Seahawks, or Chargers? Chargers. They get the rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the easy answer. Carolina or Saints defense stream today? Man, a lot of defensive streams today. I'm going back to Carolina.
Who do the Saints play?
Tampa Bay. Right?
There's your answer.
New Orleans doesn't have a playmaking wide receiver.
I'm not trust. Don't.
No, I mean, they don't.
They don't, and this year is a good draft to get one. So hopefully, New Orleans, wake up. Chiefs, wake up. Green Bay Packers, wake up. A lot of wide receivers this year. Don't let Sean McVay take them all.
My peeps in the city are rumblings about trading for Ayuk. Okay, if Ayuk went to the Saints,
would be badass.
that would be like some Super Saiyan shit for everything. Get him. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. I'd love that.
I can't even fathom how I would feel about that. Especially since I have Ayuk on, about 60% of my dynasty rosters.
Ain't that the truth?
Is Quincy Williams still a play if the Jets activated Jared Davis? I think so. Yeah. Personally.
Yeah. If he hasn't earned his spot by now, I mean, come on now.
Much agree. Can you take over the questions for a minute?
Yeah. Rougarou says his cap hit is minimal, so that would work for both teams. I mean, I agree, Rougarou. I really agree. I'm really hoping they don't trade for Deshaun Jackson. Like, when Deshaun Jackson came out and said that he wants a trade, I'm like, who in the hell is trading for Deshaun Jackson? Like,
I mean, that was that whole thing this offseason was just like when they brought him in, I was like, what are you guys even doing? And then Sean McVay, everything Sean McVay does is just like the media loves it. Oh, he's such a genius. He's bringing in Deshaun. I'm just like, what?
He's good for like 175-yard play, and then the old man's got to go sit down.
A season.
He's 34. It's pretty old.
Yeah.
I'm not 34 yet, but I mean,
let's just stop.
Hey, man, imagine what's like getting up in the bed in the morning at 34.
All right, guys. Jerome Baker is out. It looks like Shaq Thompson is going to be active, so I will be playing Shaq Thompson where I have him. We've been missing him for a while.
Okay, next question. Pick one, Claypool, Waddle, or Kadarius Toney. Well, I love Kadarius Toney. However, I don't know how healthy he is.
It's Claypool.
Probably Claypool. Yeah, they're playing the Browns. Yeah, Claypool.
Claypool by a lot.
About a lot, but
by a lot.
He's had a bunch of. He's had a couple bad games.
A lot.
Not a lot. TY or LaVisca, Lunch Table Legend on YouTube. Let's see.
I don't want anything attached to the Colts that's not named Jonathan Taylor or Darius Leonard or DeForest Buckner or Kari Willis or Kenny Moore.
Okay, well, that's a pretty long list, but
yep. But I didn't hear T.Y. Hilton on that list, so
no. I would probably still go LaVisca, but I would not. I would not be surprised if T.Y. Hilton had a good game today. Okay. Roos ask, what is your take on Kwity Paye? He's been banged up, but seems like they need him badly.
He's been playing half decent, and like you said, they're pretty much in a must-win situation this week. So he'll get run. He'll be out there.
Yeah.
And I imagine he'll be playing pretty hard. I imagine that they're going to try to put up – there's going to be a dogfight today, which is why I want pieces in this game, but most pieces I want are still not Colts.
Mm-hmm. All right. Mark Hernandez asked Boston Scott or Tyler Lockett half-point PPR. It's sad that we're here. I hate this for Tyler Lockett. I hate this for him. But, yeah, you're probably right, and it sucks. I hate that.
Yep.
Sad times, Mark.
Tough times.
Ugh. All right. Finally caught up.
Nice. Hit us with any questions y'all got. Or any comments, if you just want to talk about anything in life.
Yeah, how's life going? Is anybody watching any college football? Let's talk about it.
I mean, at least call it college. At least you called it college football. Like, what is that? Little League. I called it Little League the other day. Speaking of football, my son, he killed it yesterday in flag football. He ran like a 90-yard run. He got tackled. His flag got pulled right at the 1-yard line or down the sideline. And then he ran another like 75-yard touchdown right through the middle of the field. And I was like,
damn.
Hell yeah. And then he only touched the ball offensively 3 times.
Jesus.
Or at least as a runner. He played quarterback a couple times. He handed it off and stuff. But every time they handed it off to him, I told my wife, I was like, watch this. He's going to do something cool. I can feel it. It was awesome.
Well, that is awesome. It's good to see. Future
Yeah.
D1 athlete, probably.
Future. I mean, he's gonna be the backup to Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna be the next Chase Daniels.
Might be the backup Tom Brady.
Good one.
Devin Bush or Joe Schobert?
Oh, I hate this question.
Yeah, I do too.
Um,
Sucks more because they're on the same team, so it's like
Yeah.
whichever one you don't say is going to be the one that goes off.
Schobert's kind of been letting me down this year. I think at the end of the year, his numbers are still going to look fine. But he's not putting up the high-end linebacker one numbers I kind of expected.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Bush, I think.
I think so too.
If I'm just going to go head-to-head
it's
like
probably
this.
going to be Schobert, and that's going to
Yeah, no
suck.
problem. Let's split them. One of us will
Okay.
take Bush, one will take Schobert.
Oh, yeah, that's very helpful for Mark. If we split on the teammates.
Sorry, Mark.
All right, Rougarou. I'm waiting for the week when I can play Yannick, Russo, and Pay. I know. That'll be the day.
Oh, man. Yannick finally popped off last week. One of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
That'll be great. Are all the inactives in? Like, I haven't really seen anybody other than Ridley that was like really shocking.
I mean, I'm like
Jamal Williams, but
I'm like looking at my list, but I'm not really like. Some teams make it where you have to click in, and some will actually like just post them, which is so nice of them to do. So much easier than going to their website. But then if you click into their link, they're going to get that ad revenue from you being on their site for that 10 seconds or whatever.
Sad times when that's where we're at.
Everyone, dude, everybody's. I mean, every penny counts. For real.
Nice.
I don't give them a penny. I don't click it.
Hard body talks. Pete Werner or Miles Jack?
Miles Jack.
Miles Jack, but I am loving Pete Werner. I think he's going to end up being a really good player. His tackle floor is really high.
Eric Wilson, linebacker for the Eagles, is going to be out today. That's kind of a thing. Rashawn Evans said that earlier.
Pete Werner, Stan. This Jamar Chase thing, by the way, is exactly why the preseason does not matter at all. 0%.
No, you're right. He's unreal. I can't wait for his sophomore slump.
I mean, you might have one, but I mean,
yeah, but it'll still be like a wide receiver one season.
The amount
here's my thing with how good Jamar Chase is doing. It's allowing everyone who was all in on Devontae Smith and he was so much better than him, blah blah. Like nobody's talking about Devontae Smith because the conversation is so overwhelmingly positive about Jamar Chase. We don't even have time to waste our breath talking about the fact that Devontae Smith is not doing the same thing for his team that Jamar Chase is.
Yeah. No, I mean that's the thing. Jamar Chase was way better than people gave him credit for. Like I thought he was been the best draft pick of the last class. Like even like over CD Lamb and like he was better than Justin Jefferson. They were on the same team. Just like Jamar Chase was way better than Justin Jefferson.
Way better.
He was, and I was like, the talent's got to win out. Okay. On with the show. What do y'all think of Drew Tranquil? Playable today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a low end, like 2 or like a 3 flex. I'm not really putting a lot of trust in him. He's still coming off an injury, I believe, is why we're a little bit hesitant. So again, I always worry about re-injury or guys playing tentatively. But if you gotta play him, you gotta play him. I mean, if he's your best option.
If you got it, flaunt it. Know what I'm saying? I don't know how to say that first name.
Jeffy.
Hernandez. Flex start one. Damian Harris, Chase Claypool, Daryl Harris? Is it Daryl Williams?
I think it has to be Damian Harris.
Well, he's got Damian Harris second.
No, I have no idea who that is.
Maybe Darrell Williams for the Chiefs. I'm going to pretend it's that. I'd still probably go Damian Harris. The Chargers are god awful against the run, as people have been saying all week. That's their one weakness for the
I'm
Chargers.
surprised we haven't had any Devin Booker questions.
Talking about Devontae Booker.
That's what I meant. Devin Booker.
Can people stop? Stop. We just need to stop with these names. They're confusing.
Sorry.
I'm not putting Devin Booker in.
Putting Devin Booker in my IDP flex.
Yeah, drop some, 30 points on somebody. Damian Harris. I think you just got to start Damian Harris. I know Jordan Love, Chase Claypool, and Darrell Williams is good too, but Damian Harris has the plus matchup today, so I think you have to go with that.
I like Claypool a lot still there over Damian Harris, especially if it's any sort of PPR. Because I think there's also a situation where Damian Harris, and there's a situation where the Chargers just go up 2 scores in the first quarter, and Damian Harris we never see him again. Unless
you
there's
beat the Chargers with the run though, so that's why you gotta keep running.
But that's, yeah, Bill Belichick's got a full stable of running backs. He'll beat him with the run. Somebody with the word of run in their name will catch a lot of passes. It'll probably be Brandon Bolden.
Damian Harris.
Maybe. You could be right. I could be wrong. But I'm usually wrong and you're usually right. So
John Simmons on YouTube asked, should I actually start Van Jefferson or Melvin Gordon in PPR? I'd still probably go Melvin.
Yeah.
I like Van Jefferson because with Deshaun Jackson not there, Van Jefferson should get more targets. However, I think your safer play is Melvin Gordon still.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Man, so many people are going to have Swift in their daily lineup.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of people talking up D'Ernest Johnson either with Kareem Hunt still out. If after what he did last week, I assume he's going to be given that Kareem Hunt role, and Kareem Hunt was still getting like 15, 18
D'Ernest
touches
Johnson's
a game.
not much of a pass catcher, though.
They're going to make him one, though.
Okay, well, that's an option. I just, they didn't do, they wouldn't, I don't know if they would do
that.
Well,
you're the Browns guy, so is that just a crazy thought? Am I crazy? Then who's going to take over that role? Or is they going to have a
Felton,
role for that?
or if they even use it, it'll be Felton. And the thing is like they should use D'Ernest Johnson that way. That's it. That's what they should do. But I don't know. I probably won't happen. And it'll probably just be Chubb, and then they'll use Felton every now and then. But I just feel like you see D'Ernest Johnson do what he did last week. How does he not earn a bigger spot on the team?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I literally just said. And that bigger spot is going to present itself as what?
I think he should. I agree. I just don't think he will. I think it'll be Felton.
Okay. Okie dokie. Time is All right, guys, we're going to go about 10, 15 more minutes on this stream. Answer your questions and stuff.
Josh put in my group chat. He's like, "Fuck my Kyle Pitts take." Yeah, that's because it's that hard. That made it that much harder for him.
Yeah, he should have tried to get out from that one under that one sooner.
Yeah, I think at this
point, I don't. The argument's never been that he's gonna be bad.
It's just that it's his 4th round pick.
And it's the fact that he was. He is hitting expectations, but that's pretty. That doesn't always happen. And the people who were so sure about it, though, they got it. So I hope they're happy. Yeah. I'm looking at my one team with Kyle Pitts on it right now.
Probably like, yes, finally.
This team is, what is the record of this team? This team is 2-5. So, and it's a 2 tight end premium league, and I have the best tight end ever.
What are your kids dressing up for as Halloween?
Kale's dressing up as like this Grim Reaper thing from Fortnite, and my daughter just has like just this monster. It basically looks like Sully from Monsters Inc., but it's green instead of blue.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. Gonna be a good day. Shove them full of candy. Send them on their way. Not on their way. They'll be with me.
Mark puts off topic real quick. Billy, what crypto do you hold?
Yeah, Billy. Tell us.
I mean, I don't have much. I sold a lot of it because it's not even that I don't want to hold it. It's just that I just don't like the
You
whole
take gain.
situation.
You like your gains.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a little bit of Dogecoin, but not much. Not much to move the needle. But I had Bitcoin, but not enough to make any difference.
Yeah, that's why you hold it and then you give it to your kids. And no matter what amount you had, it'll be meaningful to your kids.
I mean, it wasn't. We're talking like $30. Like, we're not talking a lot of money.
And by the time your kids get a hold of it when they're in their 30s, it'll be worth millions.
I doubt that. I really do.
Millions.
Not much, Mark. He holds way more crypto and NFTs and stuff than I do.
I only have 2 NFTs and I have not a lot of crypto. I mean, I have some Bitcoin that I've had for a while and some Ethereum I've had for a while, but I used a good chunk of my Ethereum to buy my 2 NFTs. So, I mean, I don't really. My thing is like it's better to be a part of it now than to try and catch up later. I don't want to be these old people Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I don't get it, but the sooner I'm on there and the sooner I interact with it, the more likely I am going to understand it when it does become pertinent and relevant to everyday situations in life. And I don't want to be that old person trying to catch up later. So, I mean, that's kind of how I've decided to view that stuff. So even though, like, I don't really look at it like and again, like even my Bitcoin, I've told my wife, I'm like, the whole purpose of Bitcoin is ideally to just give it to the kids. Like, I don't know I mean, it's not going to fucking mean anything to me, but you know what I mean? In like a generation or two, I really think the world it'll almost be like class systems or, socioeconomic levels will be in percentages of full Bitcoins. So there will be people with multiple Bitcoins. That'll be like the trillionaires. And then there'll be like billionaires. Those people will be like 1 Bitcoiners. And like quarter Bitcoiners will be like what we call billionaires now. And then there'll be no coiners, and those will literally be like homeless people that are poverty stricken and don't have internet access. So get some,
fair enough,
and have it around. That's my take. It's not for me. It's for what comes after me.
All right. Well, diamond hands.
Huddle!
Rougarou, better QB matchup: Denver versus Washington football team or Atlanta versus Carolina? This is kind of like a trick question because, like, technically you want to trust Matt Ryan, but the secondary of Carolina is pretty darn good. So
I think all of those defenses are susceptible to being scored on. I think the best one for a quarterback to go up against is probably Atlanta, but then you're playing Sam Darnold, which is probably the worst quarterback of the group to actually play. So, I mean, like,
yeah, it's tough.
You want to play Sam Darnold?
I don't.
Who's the best tight end start? Definitely Ricky Seals-Jones, like 100%.
The Seals, man.
That's not even a question. You guys can send us Bitcoin too, and you can send me Ethereum too. I just posted my address today on Twitter. Old Gary V was out handing out NFTs. I said, Gary, throw me an NFT. He never responded, but
yeah,
you never know.
All right.
Bitcoin national currency in El Salvador already. Yep. And it's anti-inflationary. That's the thing people don't understand about it. Like, once it's all been minted or produced or mined, because it's digital, it can get smaller and broken into infinitely small pieces, but there can never be made to be more of it the way currency is. So it's anti-inflationary in that concept. So, I mean, look at the price of it. When I first got into it, it was like $1,200-$1,800. It's going to be $70,000 in a couple of weeks. Like, that's insanity. And the thing is, like, people are like, oh, it goes up and down. But in reality, it only goes up. Like, if you stop looking at like a day-to-day, hour-to-hour, week-to-week kind of thing, there's only one trajectory for it, and that's up.
Nice. I don't know. I don't know much about it, so I defer to you.
I know.
on that.
I'm trying to help you. I don't want you and your family. I don't want my family. I don't want to be like Altered Carbon, where my family ascends from the clouds, and mingles with the people that still die and all that.
Hey, rising tides raise all boats. I'm just assuming that if I'm just around you, I will go up.
You think I'm just gonna just sprinkle you some Bitcoin on you? Actually, I probably would.
Maybe eventually you'll pay me in Bitcoin, and I won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I need to make my Bitcoins have babies.
There you go. Okay, do you guys think Watson will be traded before the deadline? If so, where most likely? He will not be traded before the deadline.
Yeah, the deadline's like
it's
48
Tuesday.
hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. And it's impossible. It's just not. No, it's not going to happen. It could. I would. Obviously, legal stuff aside, just football related. Obviously, I think he should be on the commissioner's exempt list and shouldn't be playing right now. But since we're not doing that until February, when his legal stuff will actually go to court, I think it would be interesting to see him get traded and somebody actually force Roger Goodell to make a choice.
Trade him and then say they're going to start him.
Exactly. I would love to see that. That's the kind of chaos I like to see in the NFL.
Yeah,
it won't happen.
See that too.
But I would love to see them force Roger Goodell to make a choice like that.
Just some coach with the balls to like trade him for him like tomorrow and say he's starting next on Thursday Night Football or something.
100%. I wish that would happen.
That would be fun.
Obviously, obviously his legal stuff aside. But I don't think he's going to get traded. Miami seems interesting, but I feel like that's a lot from the Houston side saying that's going to happen and not very much from the Miami side. So makes me think
I don't know. I don't know. It's complicated. It's complex. And I think the most complex thing about it is it's crimes of a sexual nature, and that's after we just came through, the whole Me Too movement and just the way that our culture has been. But then the fact that this still remains this sort of nebulous thing. It's like, is it criminal? Is it civil? What evidence do we have? Were there actual crimes committed here? Or what's happening? And the other thing is our legal system takes forever to figure these things out. So
literally February is when
they become more nebulous and more gray and more convoluted, Yeah. In some ways, that might even be part of the legal strategy is to make it that way. But like you said, I mean, Deshaun Watson's not getting any younger, and like his peers are playing some of their best football right now, and he's not.
It's true.
And he's one of the best products of the NFL.
Ricky Seals-Jones probably answering the question earlier, which is a good call. Who's the best sleeper this week?
At what position? I mean, best IDP sleeper overall.
I would say if you're looking for offense, Khalif Raymond, he's probably available, and he's kind of been getting a lot of work in Detroit, and I think they're really going to try to beat the Eagles today, and Khalif Raymond would be my guy.
Over under Baker Mayfield plays 2 full quarters of football today.
I think no, Baker Mayfield will play the entire game if he's planning to start it. He would rather die on the football field than go off.
He's going up against the Steelers, and the Steelers are big mad. Okay, we got shit to prove.
Telling you, he'd rather die on the football field than
his dreams might come true today.
I'm telling you, he's not going to be able to lift his shoulder above like here.
He's going to fumble that ball so many times today.
He got a banged up Nick Chubb. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
but
Big Ben's
a home game.
Man, Big Ben's going to high step it into the end zone from like 20 yards out.
Big Ben. The hell?
We're going to stunt today, baby. There you go.
Let's see about that. Okay.
There you go.
Pick one. Teddy B, Sammy D, T. Lawrence, or Big Ben.
Big Ben, baby, Big Ben.
Are you crazy?
I'm dead ass.
That would be
dead ass.
That'd be the third pick there.
Dead ass. What do you mean the third pick? Best running back, best overall offense, Hall of Fame quarterback, best defense. Trevor Lawrence, garbage. Samuel Darnold, garbage. Teddy Bridgewater, garbage. Big Ben, Hall of
garbage.
Fame quarterback.
Big Ben's also garbage.
Wrong.
This year, has he been good?
Wrong.
He been good this year?
He's been great. He's going to be great today.
You're just lying to the people now.
He's going to be great.
I would go Teddy B or Trevor
I'm
Lawrence.
literally going to go to my quarterback rankings for you. And just FYI, I'm the 25th overall quarterback ranker this year.
Yeah,
on
out of
Fantasy
25.
Pros.
So that's
No, out of all of Fantasy Pros on the whole season. Okay, I'm not very good at many things, but I am half decent at
love you, bud.
these quarterback situations. All right. And I'll tell you right now, I don't even have to look, and I'm so confident that I have Big Ben ahead of all those guys. All right, I lied to you. I literally have Sam Darnold one spot ahead of Big Ben, but everyone else is underneath him.
That should tell it. Oh, wow. You have Teddy B under him?
Fuck yeah, I do. Teddy Bridgewater.
Against Washington football team?
I have Teddy Bridgewater 25. I have Trevor Lawrence 24, Big Ben 22, and then I have Sam Darnold at 21. And the only reason Sam Darnold's at 21 is because
this is your 25th ranker, folks. Just saying.
25th right. Over. Yeah, I'm one of the best. One of the best in the whole planet. Look me up.
Not even top 10. All right, Chris Jones or Quiddy Pay. Quiddy Pay. I have one deal spot left. Man, this is tough, Guru.
Give me Pay. I'm done with. I wash my hands with Chris Jones. Done.
Okay. Same. Feel the same. All right. Yefty. IDP flex. Harold Landry or Nick Bosa. I feel like there's going to be the sacks are going to be there against Chi-Town. And
it's Nick Bosa.
It is Nick Bosa.
You cannot play the wrong guy in that one.
Nope.
They're both going to be good today.
But higher ceiling is Nick Bosa because Justin Fields just loves getting sacked.
Yep.
All right.
And it'll be good natured too because they both played at Ohio State. So it'll be like, he's going to be like, hey, you fucking suck. He's like, I know. It'll be fun.
Fair enough. Should Jerry Judy be started today? He should. If you have to. Like, that's the thing. If you have to. Because Washington football team is a very good matchup for him. However, Sutton's still there. Fant's starting to get some work. Javonte's getting some catches out of the backfield. Target share might not be there right away, but if you have to start him, you have to start him.
I literally cannot stop envisioning Big Ben high stepping into the end zone.
Well, yeah, it's a dream. That's never
literally nothing in the world would make me as happy.
Myles Garrett would tackle him and rip his leg off.
Nothing in the world would make me as happy as that would make me happen today.
Well, that won't happen, so you're not going to worry about that.
I'm used to disappointment.
Him and his maybe he has a walker and he walkers his way into the end zone. Maybe that could happen. I don't know.
A little scooter from the
store.
Exactly.
One of those motorized carts from the grocery store. Maybe one of those into the end zone. But he's definitely not high stepping.
The offensive line is in front of him. They're behind it, pushing him.
Exactly. He hasn't. Exactly. It died in the middle of the aisle. And now they got to push him. Exactly. No. Same situation here. No, he hasn't high stepped in like 5-10 years. So I don't think he's going to be.
But I want to see him do it one more time.
Jerry Judy, if you have to. Pick 2 out of Cole Beasley, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Waddle, or Gaskin. I don't love Gaskin's matchup. I don't love Gaskin's matchup. He will get a lot more work today, but I don't think against Buffalo is the time to make that call.
And I like Beasley. Sue me.
Yeah. I would say if it was Tyrod playing, I'd probably do Cooks. But
I know
since it's still
Cole
Davis
Beasley's
Mills,
had some games where he's completely been phased out or whatever, but he came back pretty good last week. And I mean, if he's out there, he's a great.
Here's the thing. You know what? No, Jalen Waddle, Brandon Cooks. No, I want out of the Cole Beasley business.
I don't want in it either. But if I had to play him or Brandon Cook, I'm playing Cole Beasley.
Okay. All right. This question. Should Gaskin be started over Patterson, Henderson, or Javonte Williams? It's a hard no. Patterson should be everybody's RB1 on their team this week because without Ridley there, Matt Ryan's going to have to dump off, and Patterson's the guy.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I almost want to get in one more.
Old Mark Hernandez.
Basketball tournament.
Kirksey, Quincy Williams, Bush, Schobert. Need 3. I know I probably should just bench one of the Steelers, but I'm wondering if playing them both in a great matchup might be a sneaky play. The problem here.
You got to play Kirksey.
Yeah, Kirksey. That's not even a question, Mark. Kirksey's for sure in your lineup. It's between whether you want to just sit Quincy because you think maybe he's not going to get enough against Joe Burrow, or you bench one of the two and risk being wrong against the Steelers, because Baker Mayfield's going to take a couple on the chin today. It's just a matter of who. Huh.
I'm going to sit Schobert. No, I'm not. I'm going to sit Quincy because I'm a Steelers fan.
Okay, fandom aside, I still think maybe you do bench Quincy. And I know that's going to backfire on us. He's probably going to have like 3 picks of Joe Burrow, and he's going to look like a god. But I like the matchup against the Browns today, and it's a heavy running team, so at least the tackle should be there too. So, yeah, I think you just start them both and see what happens. All right, thoughts on Jonathan Greenard? Came out of nowhere. Love the guy.
Trending up.
Yeah, hopefully you were in on him early, because I think he could be the next guy there. I'm interested. Like, see, here's the thing about this week. I really thought we were going to get like hand tipped about who's getting traded by them not being active, and there hasn't been a lot. So, like Zach Cunningham, I would have thought would have been inactive, thinking that like maybe he was going to get traded, but he's not. So that kind of is interesting to see. But yeah, Greenard, that's the guy. Thoughts on Javon Holland? I'll let you take this one. You gave a pretty good soliloquy about it earlier.
Yeah, we had a little talk about Holland earlier. I think he's a good long-term asset, good short-term asset. He's had some good weeks. His playing time has been trending up / like he's solidified himself as a starter now. And I've brought it up a couple times. He gets those high equity pass rush snaps that you get from some secondary players. Not all teams use them like that often or at a high clip, but Miami has shown themselves to do that. They like to blitz players from all over, their linebackers or the defensive backs. Sort of similar to what you get out of some of your Ravens defenders. So Holland's trending up, and he's in a good spot right now.
Agreed. All right. Dean Tyree, pick 3, half PPR, Cordell Patterson, Chuba Hubbard, Darrell Williams, or Khalil Herbert. Patterson and Herbert for sure. Yep. That won't be a question.
And Hubbard. Darrell Williams, I'm not messing with that.
Man, but do you think with the Giants defense being banged up, maybe that's an opportunity?
Ooh. No. I don't want a Chiefs running back if I don't have to have one.
Darrell Williams better than CEH.
I don't care. I don't want him.
You heard it here, Dean. He hates Chiefs. Mark Hernandez, who has more upside rest of the season? Ernest Jones or Derek Barnes? Hashtag dumpster diving.
I think that the answer to that question, we can't really answer today. After we see what happens with Ernest Jones, now that Kenny Young is gone and we get a real look at that, we've kind of seen what Derek Barnes has to offer already, which is a decent amount of snaps, and it's trending up and it's looking good. If Ernest Jones goes out and does something similar / maybe even a little bit more, I would side on him, but I don't feel comfortable really answering that right now.
Agreed. All right. If anybody has any last minute questions, get them in.
Yeah, we'll give you all like a minute or two more. Yeah, business is booming. We're growing, y'all. Appreciate the IDP Army, the live stream. This is honestly probably my favorite thing. No, probably one of my favorite things that we do. Honestly, I love the Sunday morning live stream. I like the other shows that we do and stuff, but I really enjoy interacting with people, answering direct questions and the thought processes. And this is the real hand-to-hand combat of fantasy. The war of attrition. It's the week in, week out. Sit this guy, start this guy, drop this guy. Confidence level in this guy, etc. Would you bench Devin White over Logan Wilson and Roquan Smith? Yeah, going forward. I mean, if you have Logan Wilson and Roquan Smith, I'm okay benching Devin White. I'm never benching Roquan Smith, and it's really hard to bench Logan Wilson right now. I mean, he's been putting up like 18, 20-point games. I think Devin White just had his first 20-point game this last week. So,
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Devin White.
I mean, he's got lots of quarterback hits, and he's got all that. He's got everything pretty much going for him except the tackles for loss. He's not been hitting his tackles for loss, and he's not been getting the sacks. The tackles are still half decent, but I think he's got some regression, positive regression in the impact play department coming his way. Like, I wouldn't shock me if he goes out and has, before the season's over, he's going to have I wouldn't surprise me if he had a multi-sack game because he's still rushing the passer quite a bit. How those Allen Robinson shares holding up, my guy?
Not good. I tried to trade low. Yeah, and I don't even know if I should get into this here because I'm sure he's listening. But I think it was. I feel like it was Fisher. No, Barton put in the chat or whatever in that league. He's like, "Hey, trying to sell Allen Robinson for low. Is anybody buying?" This guy has the audacity. I tried to I sent him a trade that was kind of buy low ish, and he was like, "Absolutely not." And then he sends me back Brandon Cooks in a first from me for just Allen Robinson.
Yeah,
what?
That's the kind of shit he does.
What? How is that a buy low? That's
Put
insane.
him on blast.
I don't even care. I hope you're listening, Barton. That was insane what you did there.
Well, he's always got a good reason for it, though.
Well, it's not a buy low. That is me overpaying for Allen Robinson. A first-round pick in a 10-man league.
He's a funny guy.
That's a top 10 draft pick.
There's a reason he rarely gets trades done with anybody except for one or two people that he just always.
Well, he doesn't have his guy in there to.
Whatever he does, to that guy, by the way. We've ridiculed them enough now to where that other guy has been shamed into not trading with him anymore because he's gotten taken advantage of so many times. Start 2, Amani Hooker, Quincy Williams, Leighton Vander Esch, Alex Highsmith. Thank you. Do it 420. What up? All right. Amani Hooker, sitting him down.
I think you start Quincy Williams.
I'm starting Quincy and Highsmith.
Yeah, probably same.
All right, another one from Mark. Is Stranad gonna go do anything ever? Or is he that bad? I mean, he's good enough to play in the NFL, but for IDP, he's not good enough to be in your lineup. Danny Link says, need to pick up a Dak replacement. Would you rather drop Jacoby Myers or Latavius Murray? Thanks for the help.
Murray.
Really?
Yes.
All right, there you go, Murray.
The Ravens don't love any of their running backs, and it's pretty clear.
You're right.
They like them all. They just don't love them, any of them.
PPR, Jarvis Landry or Russell Gage. Thank you.
Well, son of a bitch. Now I think it's Russell Gage. I would have said Jarvis 2 hours ago, but without Calvin Ridley there, I mean, those shares got to go somewhere. And Russell Gage.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna big brain it. I'm gonna go Jarvis. I think that the offense for Atlanta is going to be a bit stagnant. Even though they have to go somewhere, I think that's going to end up being sloppy. Maybe a couple of receptions for Gage. I don't think they're going to be humming by any means. So I'll take Jarvis on a team that is slightly more intact.
Slightly. A little bit. Not much.
All right. Everyone in the chat, do us a huge favor. Copy this link, share it to your biggest group chat, okay? I don't care if it's work, friend, college, buddies, whatever it is. Share our show, share the channel, share IDP Fantasy Football. The fantasy gods will reward you for your sacrifice. Pay it forward.
Yeah.
And if you have any more questions, get them to us, because if not, we got to go set up some lineups, get some snacks, crack some beers, get the TV situations set up.
It really is a Bloody Mary right now.
Sunday ticket heated up, Sunday ticket turned on.
Red Zone. I wonder if my wife's going to let me watch Red Zone today. It's an interesting development. We'll see what happens.
I watch on this screen right here. I watch my YouTube TV, so there's usually one game on that, and I have my laptop And I put one game on that. So there's YouTube TV. There's usually a Fox game, and there's usually like an NFL Network game or one of the other games. So I'll have two, and then I have Sunday Ticket on my TV. So I'll usually bounce between the games that I care about the most, and then or just be on Red Zone. So,
dude, she hates Red Zone. Like, she likes getting invested in one game.
Me too.
And the bouncing around thing, she just hates it.
Yeah, it's tough because they hone in on certain games, and they only show the big offensive plays. Which, I mean, playing IDP, every time I'll see a sack go off, and I'm like, man, I missed that sack, and like they don't replay the sacks. So like if you're away from a game where you have a defensive player on the field, you're gonna miss it, which kind of sucks. I wish Red Zone, or I wish there was a more like inclusive, replay situation where they would include sacks, tackles for loss, big plays, I should say. You know what's crazy too? If you guys have YouTube TV, I want to tell you this. I just discovered this. YouTube TV actually does do that on the games. If you're watching a game on YouTube TV, on your phone, you can, if you watch it on the up and down version, you can scroll over, and the bottom there's a bar. And the bar goes to like play-by-plays, it goes to stats, time of possession. They have all kinds of secondary data they stream right into YouTube TV. And one of the things that they do is they have instant replays of what they call big plays or meaningful plays. And they do include meaningful third and fourth down stops. And they do include tackles for loss. So you can watch these plays these guys make on YouTube TV. Whereas, even NFL Network and ESPN, like they don't offer those kinds of highlights. So YouTube TV they're really with it with what they're kind of offering as their auxiliary NFL content. And I just discovered it the other day, and I kind of wanted to tell people about it because it's really cool. Like you can go watch the plays. Like they literally have it classified as like big plays, and it has offensive ones and defensive ones. What fourth down catches, all this stuff. Like it's just you kind of get an overview of what happened in the game, the plays that really move the game. So
agreed. Okay, couple more questions. I need 2 of the 3 DBs. Marcus made Kyle Duggar or Jamal Adams.
I'm going Duggar and Adams still.
I think so too, but man, Jamal Adams is on thin ice.
All right, this one's coming in. Stephen X says Scary Terry or Mike Evans. I'm going Terry. Marshawn Lattimore has given Mike Evans the business more times than I care to remember. And as someone who has Mike Evans, like in a lot of leagues, I'm not benching him, but I'm not counting on Mike Evans. I mean, I'll be happy if Mike Evans puts up 13 points today.
Yeah, I feel like we need to come to a agreement in the fantasy space of when you're like doing like start sits. Like whenever you say like Mike Evans isn't a good play, it's not that you want to sit him. It's just like we need to just calm down with the expectations.
He's not going to hit his projection.
Exactly. And I feel like you don't not start him, but if you have a way better matchup, maybe you consider it, but like you're going to have to start him, but like you just got to tamper expectations.
Mm-hmm. So if it's between these two, then it's Scary Terry. But if it's like, I would never just bench Mike Evans unless I had Scary Terry to come in for him.
Right.
So, all right, this is going to be our last question, guys. We got due at 420, full FP PPR. So what does that mean? Full point PPR, tight end premium, desperation play, Olamide, Zacchaeus, Dante, Pettis, Demarcus Robinson, or Tommy Sweeney. Thank you.
And now that is desperate.
Man, I think big brain play is Tommy Sweeney because Josh Allen is like throwing to the tight end.
Yeah.
But I think the
Zacchaeus, I also could see him. Like, we think it's going to go to Russell Gage, and it's going to end up being Zacchaeus. He might catch.
Give me Dante Pettis. Give me Dante Pettis or Sweeney.
Wow, dude. Wow. You're back on the Pettis train.
Pettis or die, baby.
Yeah.
All right, who's the real deal going forward? Jermaine Davis or Nick Bolton? Nick Bolton for IDP. Bolt up.
Yep.
Bolton up. Nick Bolton up. All right, y'all, you know what to do. Like, subscribe. Join me tomorrow. I will be doing the waiver wire show. Then Billy and I are going to be putting out the big mid-season pod. Jump on the pod stream. If you are not on the listening to the podcast, we have stuff that's over there just exclusive to that, just like there's stuff that's exclusive just to the channel. We're growing. The brand's growing. We got a lot of shit going on. We appreciate you. We love you. We appreciate the support. Hopefully, we help you guys get your week 1. It is week 8. This shit matters, okay? This week, next week, and next week. I mean, there's a lot of leagues that are 4-3, 3-4. This is when we make our hay. You guys make your hay. So make the right decisions. Enjoy football. Because, I mean, it's already half over. It's crazy. So here's to a good week 8. Any final thoughts, Billy?
Follow at Offensive Points. Listen to the show. Let us know what you think. We get some feedback, especially from people that are close to us because we haven't listened to it. But we could definitely take any kind of feedback if you all have any. Just whatever. Like you can say Josh sucks. Like I don't care. Like that's fine. And you can
That's
say I
not
suck. I don't
feedback.
care about that either.
People say
So
that anyway.
yeah, exactly. I don't care. It rolls right off my chest. I don't care. I just want to hear about it. But yeah, follow that. Follow the TikTok. Always trying to put more content on there. I don't think we could put enough content on there. I wish we could get somebody just to do TikTok. That would be great. But
Yeah,
it's tough.
minions.
It's hard out here. Yeah, but no, other than that, everybody go win your games. Do it 420. Have a great day, guys. And thanks for answering all the questions.
All right,
You're welcome.
we're out of here, y'all.